All right, let's get down to the dirty details. Sean, take us back here, how this all started. Obviously, I've been following your channel for quite a while, but just for some of the audience members that haven't heard about Brian Cop2 Fahey, how this all went down and how this started.
So it all started with Brian Fahey. It was all by his own design. All he had to do was go back inside to the Connecticut State Police headquarters where I was live earlier and get back to work. I went to the Connecticut State Police headquarters to file a complaint on a different trooper who violated my rights. He unlawfully detained me, put me in handcuffs, violated my First and Fourth Amendment rights in the Bradley International Airport. And so quickly, he is not the story, because Sergeant Brian Fahey, former Sergeant Brian Fahey, I was talking to him about the complaint. He says, "Oh, you have to go to IA.
Yeah.
This is where you need to go." And I said, "All right, no problem. I'll be going." And he's like, "But no, you're going to go right now, right?" And I told him, "I'm going to be going." And he was like, "No, but so you're just going to stand there with your camera out all day?" And I told him, "But you were busy." He says, "I am busy." And I said, "Well, you should get back to work." Triggered him. Just like that, he went unhinged and he attacked me. Took my camera from my hand, threw it to the ground, breaking it, grabbed me by my shirt, started poking me in my chest. No accountability for that instance. That's how it all started. It had nothing to do with him. He was just the sergeant that came out when I said I wanted to file a complaint. All he had to do was go back to work.
Yeah, and it's crazy because in that video, and let me just pull this up. I want to play a little bit of clip of that first incident. I gotta be honest with you. I kind of chuckled a little bit here when that moment, and you're gonna see the moment of he's like, what are you doing? And you're like, I'm leaving. But there's assault. I mean, he put his hands on you. He clearly assaulted you, and I'm wondering why this guy was never arrested. And I hope and I know that you have filed some formal charges here against him. But let's play this little bit here.
Go to IA right now, correct?
Yeah, I'll be there.
All right.
I'm going to be going.
Okay.
I gotta kind of laugh here.
I'm going to be going.
Okay. So you're gonna stand here with your cell phone on.
I thought you were busy. I thought you were a busy man.
I am busy.
So you should get to work.
I should get to work. Is that what you're telling me?
If you're busy.
We're gonna have a problem between you and I. Definitely.
His body camera. You don't do interference. His body camera's on. His body camera's on. Stop. He has his body camera on.
I don't care.
Stop,
I don't care. Right? This is private property. Okay.
I'm not doing anything.
You're not going to videotape me and have an attitude.
I'll get off of it.
I'm going to tell you what right now, dude. I'm not the one.
All right.
Okay. I gave you the information you needed, and I gave you your outlet. Right? You were giving your outlet.
I said I was
you wanted to stand there and hold your cell phone in my face. Is what you wanted to do. Yes, you do. Take your cell phone and go and make your complaint. Okay.
Okay. Can I?
Yeah. And then the question I have here, when he does this, is he poking in your chest?
Yeah, he's poking my chest. I'm not the one,
It's assault.
Exactly.
It's assault.
Yeah. It's assault.
Leroy.
It's a constitutional rights violation. It's all of it. Fourth Amendment violation. It's all of it. It's all very clear.
They hate the camera. They absolutely hate the camera. And it's true because the camera's going to get everything. The camera's not going to lie. And particularly in his situations, I mean, we've seen him get assaulted multiple times, spit in his mouth. The crazy thing about it, and I just saw a YouTube short, and I think it's on your channel, Sean, where you actually zoom in on Fahey's face. And I didn't realize that it was the whole full wind up spit, in your face. I mean, this guy is a fucking animal, a nasty animal. Like, who does that? Who spits in someone's face? It's insane. I didn't realize until I saw that zoomed in clip. I was like, holy shit, he really wound up and did the old pop back. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was talking with Leroy earlier offline about if anybody in the state of Connecticut has license to spit on anybody at this particular time, it would be me. Fortunately, I'm not a vile, disgusting individual, because how would that look if I spit on somebody who's not a cop right now and then they arrest me? That would be a horrible look for the state of Connecticut. Like, so it's a crime now, apparently, but it's not a crime when it's done to me. Like, I don't get it. I thought people who weren't law enforcement officers, we could spit on people. And I guess Sergeant Fahey is not, he's a former sergeant now. So I guess he would be open for, to be spit on, to be spat upon. So, you know, again, I wouldn't do it because I'm not a vile, disgusting human being like he is.
How did you hold your composure through that, man? I would have fucking lost my shit. I would have been like, that's like when we're watching the video and I had a couple of friends on panel, we were watching it and I was like, how did he hold his composure? I would have lost my mind.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was more, I understood. I was very situationally aware, and I understood that he had a gun with his finger on the trigger, just inches from me. So
Yeah.
my main focus and my main concern during that interaction was the gun. So if he would have raised the gun at any given point, being how aggressive he was, being how close he was to me, which again is very stupid. I mean, he's got to be the dumbest law enforcement officer on the planet. If you want to former law enforcement officer, right? And apparently, I heard he can't get any more jobs. He was supposed to work for the tribal police department over there at Fox Woods, Connecticut, at the casino, and they pulled. I was told they pulled his job offer. But
Good.
yeah. So, you know, for him being so close, if he would have raised that gun at all, I would have just taken it from him. You know, you know, there's no way that he's gonna out wrestle me. And now, you know, I'm a big guy. You know, I probably should lose a couple pounds, but there's no way that he's down here.
He's very short.
There is no way that he would have won that battle. So I was just more worried about, okay, he lifts up his gun at all, I'm gonna take it from him, and then goes from there. I mean, anything could happen at that point. You know, at the end of the day, whatever happens, happens. I'm defending myself. So, but the spit was vile. In the moment, I wanted to react. I wanted to do something about it, but I was like, at least he's going to go to jail. And that's the ultimate violation of all of this, is that not only did he spit in my face and mouth, is that he was never held accountable, and I went to jail that day on a $75,000 bond, myself and my cameraman. It's like adding insult to injury. It's like kicking somebody where they're down. That's the ultimate injustice. That's the ultimate violation. You know, that to me, and then him retiring is an injustice to me. You know, he's skating accountability. He should have been fired. It's just, it is what it is. That's why I do what I do.
Yeah. Here's something, as I call what he did to Sean, because some people minimize it and, oh, what's a little, you know, spits a little on the face. It is biological assault.
Yeah.
You know, seriously, a disturbing, deranged person would do that, especially in a fit of rage, because he was out of control. He was out of control of his regular cognitive function, shall we say. And he was brandishing a weapon at the time. And so everything Sean said is correct. And brandishing a weapon out of control, he should have been disarmed instantly. And I have also had numerous Connecticut state troopers reach out to me since I started covering the story. And they gave me a play-by-play. What would they have done if they were the officers that arrived on scene? And the first thing they would have done is disarm the crazy guy. And because they see an innocent guy backing up, retreating, and is little short guy out of his mind. And first thing, disarm him and keep him disarmed, and get him a psychological evaluation immediately, and make sure he has all kinds of blood tests, because Sean and his wife are living under the stress. What does he have? I'm not saying he has anything, but no one knows.
You don't know, right? That's the thing. And I know that transference of some sort of disease like HIV or something of that nature is very low, but it's still a chance, right? I mean, he could have had an open cut. I know I'm not an ignorant person. I know it doesn't translate through saliva. Somebody emailed me and was like, hey, I would appreciate it if you didn't, say that spitting on somebody you can get HIV. Let me be clear, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying it transfers through saliva. I'm saying that he could have had a cut in his mouth and spit blood on me, and I could have had a slight cut in my mouth. It's a possibility. And it's a possibility that I should never have to face because of a disgusting individual. If I've always told him, and I've told him this to his face, so it's nothing new, without that gun and that badge, he would not do. There's 3 separate incidents. He wouldn't have done not one of them. He's a coward. He didn't come out of his house without the gun, because if he didn't have the gun in his hand and he spit in my face, we would have been having. My bond probably would have been $250,000, and it would have been a whole different story because I would have defended myself at that point.
Yeah.